Hey YouTube, this is the Boker Magnum Beil throwing axe designed by John Bailey. It's about a foot long in overall length. Now you might be saying, wow, that's a weird shape for an axe. Why is the blade shaped like that? Well, with a throwing axe, the primary point is to stick it into a target, and so by having a moon-shaped blade with those points, it just allows you to successfully stick your throwing implement. Now this is going to be a full review of the throwing axe, but first I'm going to roll in some footage of some nice throws with this throwing axe. All right, and in the background here is another thrower designed by John Bailey. All right, this is it's a John Bailey throwing knife. I'm going to do a separate review, but in the footage you're going to see I'm going to be throwing both of these because I wanted to use them both in the same session. So you're going to see some throws with this and some throws with this as well. All right, so let's roll in that footage right now. Then I'm going to come back and do a full review of this item for all the potential throwers who might consider purchasing this item. Hey again YouTube, hope you like that. We are back with the Magnum Beil axe, and this is my pet manta ray that swims through the air. Now, just kidding, this is the sheath that comes with the axe. It does have some swivel belt loops on the back, and then it has button closures there. The axe comes out like this. Alright, so that is the sheath that you get with the axe. This is a 1/4 inch thick, so it is fairly stout. Now that steel is soft, okay, so yeah, I mean it's going to get banged up as you throw it. But like I said, it's a 1/4 inch thick, so it will survive, but you can see, like the tip, I already banged up the tip somewhat, blunted it a little bit, but you can regrind it to be like a chisel. A throwing blade doesn't need a needle tip. You can make like a strong kind of thin chisel type tip that I've found works fine. The handle, it's a good width. It fits a human hand well. It's not overly wide. You can get a good grip and really propel it towards your target. And the radius of a successful stick is huge because it can stick, even if you're off, it can stick here. It can stick here. This can stick like it's a knife. If it over-rotates, it can stick here. If it really over-rotates, it can stick here. The only time this won't stick your target is if you somehow manage to hit your target with like just this part here. So this is extremely easy to successfully throw. I would definitely highly recommend this for beginner throwers as something that you can use to build up your confidence, because throwing is all about mindset, right? Everybody can stick the target once in a while, so your body already knows how to do it right. But if you lack confidence, and because you lack confidence, you're going to find it difficult to focus, difficult to concentrate, and that's really what makes people miss. So this is great for beginners to just build up that confidence and get that feeling of a successful throw and stick. How does this compare with some other throwing axes? Well, this is a Maxim axe. They sell these on Amazon. I have these, the electrical tape is just here to protect the G10 handle scales from cracking. Hopefully if it misses, it hits the tape and won't crack the scales. They're very thick. But this is a pretty cool throwing axe. You can also just use it as, whatever you want to use your axe for, but The Bailey is a lot easier to stick, obviously, because of the specialized shape. But yeah, this is way easier than this. And speaking of easy, yes, this is a hurl bat. It's a throwing axe made by Lutel. I'm going to do a video of these too. But as you can see, very similar idea. This hurl bat, same idea as the Magnum Beil, but the hurl bat, the Lutel hurl bat, is a lot bigger and heavier. Right? These are sold in sets of 3 for like $200. Okay, so much more expensive, but very nice. You know, you'll see more of that in its own video. But yeah, it's just a comparison. Yeah, another design with the same idea to make it easier to hit. And these are very easy to hit with too. Both of these get the easiest rating from me. Now, intermediate and advanced throwers might find it a little boring because it's very easy, but of course you can do it from farther and farther and farther away to make it more difficult for yourself. Me personally, I use it as a fun little extra. When I'm throwing a throwing knife, maybe something more difficult to stick, I'll throw the throwing knife, and just for a fun little thing, I'll throw this after I throw the throwing knife. But I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.